How on earth could a father bury his only son? A young graduate with big dreams and a bright future ended in such a painful way. This world can be so wicked. What this man did to his own blood will shock you and break your heart. After watching this sad story till the end, you will never let greed control your life. Please like, share, and subscribe for more touching stories. The sun was rising gently over the small village when Chidi stepped outside, his old brown shoes making soft sounds on the dusty ground. He had just finished saying his morning prayers. His heart was full of hope. Today could be the day something good would happen. Chidi was the only son of his father, the pride of his late mother, and the light of his family. He had worked hard to finish school, even when things were tough. Every time he saw children playing, he would smile and whisper to himself, "One day, I will build a big house. One day, I will take care of my father." He loved his father so much. Sometimes, he would go to the farm just to help him, even when he was tired. At night, he would sit outside and look at the stars, dreaming of a better life. He believed that as long as he worked hard and prayed, his time would come. But life was not easy. His father was getting older and more worried. Chidi didn't know that the same man he wanted to make proud would soon become the reason for his greatest pain. Chidi finished school with joy in his heart. He believed life would be better after graduation. He believed that one day, he would make his father proud. But days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. There was no job, no call, no good news. Every morning, Chidi woke up early, dressed in his only good shirt, and walked to the town with a file under his arm. He submitted applications everywhere, banks, schools, offices, but no one called him back. He even borrowed money for transport, just to attend interviews that gave him empty promises. Sometimes, Chidi returned home hungry because he had no money to buy food. He would sit outside the small mud house, looking at the sky with tears in his eyes. "God, please, don't forget me," he whispered many nights. His dreams were still alive, but his strength was fading. His father began to change. The smiles he used to give were gone. Chidi noticed it, but he didn't know why. He thought his father was only tired. He didn't know something dangerous was already growing in his father's heart. As the days turned into months, whispers began to rise in the village. Whenever Chidi's father, Okeke, walked past a group of men, he would hear their laughter. "Ah, Okeke, your son is still at home," one man said one evening at the palm wine bar. "My own boy just bought me a motorbike." Another added, "Your mates are eating with big men in the city. But you are still carrying hoe and cutlass." Okeke forced a smile, but inside, his heart burned with shame. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept turning on his bamboo bed, his mind filled with the voices of those men. His only son was still living under his roof, eating his food, and bringing nothing home. When morning came, Okeke sat outside staring at the empty road. Chidi passed by, holding his file as usual. "Papa, I'm going to submit another application," Chidi said softly. Okeke didn't answer. He just watched him walk away, anger boiling in his chest. In his eyes, Chidi was no longer a blessing, he was becoming a curse. From that day, the father's love started dying slowly. He no longer called Chidi by his sweet childhood name. He stopped asking how his day went. His heart was turning cold, and Chidi had no idea what was coming. It started with silence. Okeke stopped talking much to Chidi. Then one evening, as Chidi returned from another fruitless job search, his father's voice broke the quiet. "So, you are back again?" Okeke asked, his face hard as stone, empty-handed as always. Chidi froze at the doorway, his hands shaking as he held his worn-out file. "Papa, I tried. I went to 3 offices today. They said they will call." "Call?" Okeke shouted, standing to his feet. "How many times will they call you? How many months will you keep eating my food and bringing nothing home?" Tears gathered in Chidi's eyes. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. His chest was heavy. The father he loved so much now looked at him like a stranger. I wasted my money sending you to school, Okeke continued, his voice like a whip. You are nothing but a failure. A big disgrace to me. Chidi dropped his head and walked to his small room. He sat on the mat, staring at the wall, tears rolling down his cheeks. All he ever wanted was to make his father proud. But now, it seemed his father wished he was never born. That night, as Chidi cried silently, Okeke sat outside in the dark, his hands clenched. In his heart, something dangerous was growing, something that would change everything forever. Okeke could no longer bear the shame. Everywhere he went, it felt like the whole village was laughing at him. At the market, at the palm wine bar, even at the stream, he felt eyes on him, mocking him. One afternoon, he sat under the old mango tree behind his house, his hands on his head. His chest was heavy. His mind was a storm. What kind of son is this? He muttered to himself. He has brought me nothing but shame. My mates have houses and cars. They are called great men. And me? I am called a father of failure. He remembered the words of one of his old friends, who mocked him openly. Okeke, what use is a son who cannot feed you? Better to have no son than a useless one. Those words cut deep like a blade. That evening, when Chidi returned home smiling weakly, holding his empty file, Okeke could not look at him. He sat quietly, his jaw tight, his eyes burning with anger and something darker, something he never imagined he would think. That night, as the moon shone through the small window, Okeke lay on his bed, his eyes wide open. The thought came like a whisper. End this shame. End it now. He shook his head, trying to push it away, but the whisper grew louder. For the first time, Okeke thought of doing the unthinkable. And once that thought entered his heart, it refused to leave. Days passed, but Okeke was no longer the same man. He hardly spoke to anyone, not even to Chidi. He stopped going to the palm wine bar. He spent long hours sitting alone under the mango tree, staring at the ground like someone lost in thought. At night, he couldn't sleep. He walked around the compound like a restless spirit. Sometimes he would stand at Chidi's door, watching his son sleep, his eyes cold and strange. Chidi noticed something was wrong, but he didn't understand what. Papa, are you okay? He asked one morning, his voice soft. I'm fine, Okeke replied quickly, his face blank. But inside, his heart was dark. The whispers in his head were louder now. You must do it. End the shame. End the disgrace. One evening, Okeke went to the back of the house and began to dig the earth quietly. The sound of the shovel breaking the soil was the only sound in the dark night. Sweat ran down his face, but he didn't stop. By the time the moon was high, a deep hole lay behind the house. Okeke stood over it, breathing heavily, staring at the darkness below. His hands were trembling, but his mind was set. The night was silent, but something evil was moving. A plan was ready. A life was about to end. The night was cold. The moon hid behind the clouds, as if it didn't want to witness what was about to happen. Inside the small house, Chidi was lying on his mat, tired from another hopeless day of job hunting. He had not eaten since morning, but he still whispered his usual prayer. God, please help me. I just want to make my father proud. Suddenly, the door creaked open. Chidi lifted his head. Papa? He called softly. Come outside, Okeke said, his voice low and strange. Chidi stood up slowly, his heart beating fast. He stepped into the cold night. The wind blew gently, carrying the sound of the crickets. This is only the beginning. The secret Okeke buried in the ground will not stay silent forever. Wait for part 2. The truth is coming. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more powerful stories. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another life-changing story.